Has this ever happened to you?
After an exhausting day where the world demands too much, the first thing you do when you get home is check whether your monstera is putting out a new leaf. Or maybe you're the kind of person who talks softly to your plants while watering them, feeling a peace you can't find on social media or at the office. If your house is full of pots and you feel an almost inexplicable connection with that little green corner, let me tell you something. You're not the crazy plant person. What you feel has a name, a biological explanation, and a deep psychological root. People often think caring for plants is just an aesthetic hobby, or worse, a poor substitute for human interaction. You can't have dogs or kids, so you buy plants, some say. That's completely wrong. Today, we're going to discover why your brain needs that contact with green. We're going to break down how a simple pot can be the emotional anchor that keeps you sane in a hyper-digitalized world. I promise that by the end of this video, you won't see your plants as decoration. You'll see them as your silent allies in stress management and mental health. If this kind of depth matters to you, subscribe and hit the bell. Let's get into it. To understand why we obsess over plants, we have to look back, way back. Not 100 years, thousands. This is where the concept of biophilia enters. This term, popularized by biologist Edward O. Wilson, suggests that human beings have an innate, evolutionary affinity for everything that is alive. It's not a choice. Think about it this way. For 99% of our history as a species, the color green meant food, water, and shelter. The gray of concrete, or the white of modern offices, is noise to our ancestral brain. When you put a plant in your room, you're sending a safety signal to your nervous system. There is life here. We can survive here. Your brain doesn't know it's 2026. Your brain still thinks green means safe. And every plant in your apartment is whispering to your nervous system, relax. This place has resources. You're going to be okay. This isn't poetry. This is evolution. And it explains why a room with plants feels fundamentally different from a room without them, even if you can't articulate why. What exactly happens in your brain when you're caring for your indoor garden? Let's enter the engine room of your mind. We live in a state of constant, directed attention. Your phone, emails, traffic, notifications. All of it drains your prefrontal cortex. It's as if your brain's battery is at 2% and you're still trying to open heavy apps. Plants offer what psychologists Rachel and Stephen Kaplan called soft fascination. Observing the pattern of a leaf or the slow movement of a stem doesn't require conscious cognitive effort. It's such light stimulation that it allows your directed attention to rest and recharge. It's literally a wireless charger for your brain. This is why hospitals with garden views have faster patient recovery, why offices with plants report higher productivity, why prisons with green programs show reduced aggression. The research is overwhelming, and it all points to the same thing. Your brain was designed for green, and when you give it green, it performs better. If you're finding value in this, hit the like button. Let's keep going. When you see a plant that was wilting revive after you water it, or when that flower you'd been waiting for finally blooms, your brain releases dopamine. That's the reward system. But there's something deeper. The act of caring, the act of nurturing another living being, even one that doesn't speak, activates circuits related to oxytocin, the bonding hormone. By caring for the plant, you're practicing your own capacity for compassion. It's a mirror. If the plant flourishes under your care, you feel that you have the capacity to generate life and well-being. That's not a small thing.
In a world that constantly makes you feel powerless,
Watching something thrive because of your attention is proof that your care matters, that you matter. And here's the part that's going to blow your mind. There's a bacterium in soil called Mycobacterium vaccae. Studies suggest that when we handle dirt with our hands, we inhale or absorb small amounts of this bacterium, which stimulates the production of serotonin in our brain. Yes, getting your hands dirty literally works as a mild, natural antidepressant. The soil itself is medicine, and every time you repot a plant or mix soil with your bare hands, you're giving your brain a chemical boost that pharmaceutical companies spend billions trying to replicate. Subscribe right now, because what comes next is how to turn this into a real tool. If you want this bond with your plants to be a real tool for personal growth, it's not enough to just have them there. You have to interact with intention. Don't water on autopilot while talking on the phone. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to a single plant. Touch the leaves, notice the texture, observe the changes. This trains your mind to be in the here and now, reducing anxious rumination about the future or the past. It's mindfulness without the meditation app. It's presence without the spiritual framework. Just you and a living thing, sharing a moment. Use your plants as visual reminders. If you have a plant that survived a pest or one that recovered after you forgot to water it for weeks, place it at your workspace. When you feel burned out, look at that plant. It went through a hard time. It lost leaves, but it adapted. You can too. Plants don't grow in a straight line, and neither do we. There are seasons of explosive growth, seasons of dormancy, seasons where nothing seems to be happening on the surface, but the roots are spreading underground. Your life works the same way.
and having a plant that mirrors that cycle
Is a daily reminder that stagnation is not the same as death. Sometimes stillness is preparation. Create a zone in your home where no screens enter, only plants. Make it your sanctuary. This physical space helps your brain separate work time from biological recovery time. Your nervous system needs a place where it knows, without question, that no demand is coming. A green corner with no Wi-Fi is that place. Do you know what's the most beautiful thing about people who love plants? They possess a quality that the modern world is losing: patience. We live in the era of instant gratification. We want the click, the like, the package that arrives in 2 hours. But a plant doesn't understand Amazon Prime. A plant grows at its own pace. You can't negotiate with biology. You can't rush photosynthesis. You can't send an angry email to a seed demanding it sprout faster. If you love plants, it's because deep in your heart, you still value slow processes. You have the capacity to wait, to observe, to trust that even though you see nothing today, the root is growing underground. That is a psychological strength, an incredible one. In a world addicted to speed, you chose patience. In a world obsessed with control, you accepted that some things grow on their own timeline. In a world that treats everything as disposable, you nurture. You are a person capable of nurturing, of observing beauty in the subtle, of accepting that life has seasons. Your plants know it, and now you know it too. If this changed how you see your relationship with your plants, subscribe and hit that like button. Share this with a fellow plant lover who needs to know they're not crazy, they're evolved. Tell us in the comments, which plant taught you the most about patience? See you in the next one.